Okay. So 65 years ago, James Culleton in 1948 described a marketing manager as a mixer of ingredients. And that's kind of where I'm going with my topic today. Sometimes that mixer of ingredients follows recipes prepared by others. Sometimes they prepare their own recipe as they go along. Sometimes they add a recipe from existing ingredients, and sometimes they invent ingredients that no one has ever combined before. Part of mixing your marketing ingredients is knowing which channels to focus on and which to avoid, kind of like the TV show Chopped. Any Chopped fans out there? Well, on Chopped, they take a mystery basket of ingredients and turn it into something amazing, otherwise they're chopped. On one of the first episodes, the chefs were given ground beef, wonton wrappers, cream of mushroom soup, and a banana, and told to make an appetizer. One chef refused to use the banana in his appetizer and was chopped. It's similar to the way that you may be chopped from your job if you refuse to use a marketing channel. So with the help of Google's Zero Moment of Truth and Chris Penn's New Media Trinity, I'll try to give you some tips to keep you from being chopped in your job. Bananas obviously cause the conflict in, here we go again. Bananas cause the conflict in that episode of Chopped. And the goal of minimizing conflicting channels by mixing all ingredients properly is important. We're going to take a look at the integrated marketing pyramid, which, like the food pyramid, is the base of everything that you need for your marketing programs. While mixing ingredients was great in 1948, in 2013, we're not about mixing, we're about marketing integration. According to Search Engine Watch, 2013 is the year of marketing integration. Everybody keeps talking about social and mobile and everything else. Well, this is integrating all of them together. Marketing basics haven't changed in 2013, and they probably never will. New channels, campaigns, and tools are new ways to achieve the same old goals, generating demand for your products and services. For example, more channels will start to work together and better in 2013. Social media will become more measurable and accountable. If you're not on social media right now, you're not doing your job. And that doesn't mean that you have to be on every social media channel. You need to be measuring that activity and determining which social media channels work best for you. Ann Handley and CC Chapman wrote a book called Content Rules, which is about reimagining a single piece of content into multiple campaigns, like blog posts into white papers and podcasts and videos. The coolest, most engaging content is going to fail if you don't use smart business skills to share it with others. People like to be approached in different ways, and therefore you need to use different channels for your marketing mix, and don't be too pushy about it. Tools like Google Analytics will become more important as marketers look to streamline their process and save money by leveraging the effects of seeing all of their campaigns in one place, also known as big data. Big data is gathering those insights and using that business intelligence to create actionable goals and win the jackpot. Integrated marketing is a way to take different marketing methods such as mass marketing, one-to-one marketing, and direct marketing, and come up with the objectives of a seamless customer experience. A content marketing method and plan that combines paid media like PPC, earned media like your social media following, and owned media like your blog is a simple strategy that leads to success. The goal is to make all aspects of marketing communication, online and offline advertising, public relations, and direct marketing, as well as social media, working together and maximizing their market impact and cost effectiveness. The big data that you get from this can be used to influence product development, pricing, and distribution. So you use that banana in the chopped basket to enhance the marketing strategy rather than throwing a monkey wrench into it. Sorry, it had to be done. So now that you understand what integrated marketing is, how do you take that strategy and use it to manage multiple channels? First, you need to collect the information about your company, your product, your competition, and your target market, and outline that in an integrated marketing program from beginning to end. Is the dish you're going to be creating sweet, savory, or a combination of both? And how does that compare to the competitive chefs in your kitchen? Create a SWOT analysis to capitalize on things your competition isn't doing well or isn't doing at all. Take that extra minute to review your dish. Unlike on Chopped, where they have a set period of time, if there's anything you feel needs more research or additional information, take the time to do the extra work. Make sure that promotional garnishes, like coupons, rebates, and discounts, are considered, but don't make them a main ingredient. Review the results of your plan and optimize for better results. Use your analytics to eliminate what isn't working, concentrate on fixing the things that show promise, and expand what is working. HubSpot recently came out with an ebook comparing SEO and social media to determine which is best for getting the most traffic to your site. And the answer, as always, is it depends. But it's always better to do one thing well than two things not so well. You need to determine which channels to focus on and which channels won't deliver the results you need and should be avoided until you have the available resources. Consumers are exposed to various online advertising vehicles, which could make it difficult for marketers to understand the actual impact of their campaigns. A company called Slingshot SEO analyzed 23 million conversions and found that paid advertising, referrals, and SEO were often the most undervalued, with organic search being undervalued by as much as 77%. On the opposite end of that spectrum, direct visits were being overvalued by as much as 82%. And the concept here is that strong brand messages in paid, earned, and owned media during the consideration process make it understandable that people will remember your site and come back directly when they're ready to actually make the purchase. Just because it's last touch doesn't mean that there weren't other factors in the decision-making process. Google's taken that last touch decision-making process and come up with something that they call the zero moment of truth, or ZMOT. They found that 84% of Americans perform some sort of ZMOT activities prior to purchase. The average shopper used 10.4 sources of information before buying. That's a lot of shopping around and a lot of channels that you need to consider in your mix. You have to be there where people are looking for things about your company, product, and service when they're ready to look. 3 really great ways of being there when people are starting the buying process are described by Chris Penn as the new media trinity: content, conversation, and distribution. Content, via things like your blog or website, is always there for people to find you when they're looking. Social media allows people to become part of the conversation or community at the zero moment of truth. And distribution via channels like email allows you to be top of mind when consumers need to make their decision about your product or service. When these 3 work hand in hand, you have a well-balanced dish, or in Vegas terms, winner, winner, chicken dinner. So what happens when your marketing channels don't work together? 4 main causes of channel conflict are goal incompatibility, for example, getting a consumer to purchase in a store versus online; territory disagreement, when something is available on one channel but not others; inadequate communication, when not communicating the same message, whether it's offline, online, or in paid, owned, or earned media; and competition for resources. Sometimes in the dessert round of Chopped, both competitors want to make ice cream, but there's only one ice cream machine. Sales exclusivity is a perfect example of how competition for scarce resources can cause channel conflict. So what do you do about it? Channel conflict will happen, both in your marketing and sales channels. There are 4 ways to minimize channel conflict: the pricing approach, whether you put the same pricing across the board or put different pricing in certain channels. Mattel has in the past, Mattel Toys, charged 15% more online for their products in order to avoid channel conflicts with their retail merchants. The product approach is offering a unique product or product bundle that's not available through all of the company's marketing channels. Ducati motorcycles, for example, only sold their accessories and apparel through their online channel. That allowed the merchants to test both pricing and product variables. A brand approach, Scandinavian Airlines created a brand called Snowflake to compete in the low-cost air carrier marketplace. And the promotions approach. Estee Lauder sells directly to consumers online, but they encourage in-store purchases through free gifts giveaways. All of these approaches have their pros and cons, so it's important to consider what will work best in your specific circumstance. Like the food pyramid that Chopped contestants need to be aware of, marketers need to be aware of the integrated marketing pyramid. At the base, you need to set goals for content distribution and communication, blending offline and online methods in your plan. Strategically link across all channels to be at the right place, at the right time, with the right message for any consumer that's looking for your product. And evaluate the contribution, not just the last click, of each element, including advertising, direct marketing, Facebook, Twitter, and blogs to maximize the communication impact. And you want to develop an effective communication strategy, including things like building a content calendar and an editorial calendar to make sure your messages are consistent and reach customers across all marketing channels. You also want to use that editorial calendar and take those topics to create engaging content to reach, impact, and engage your customers. And then finally, you need to differentiate your brand. That's the top level of the internet marketing pyramid. And remember to use the power of the employee voice to humanize your brand, because ultimately, people buy from people, not just brands. So, what did I leave off my shopping list? Any questions on integrated marketing? Please come up to the microphone if you've got some. We've got one.
Yeah, what tools do you recommend to advertisers for looking at the assist value of different channels?
Right now, things like Google Analytics only show you the last click marketing, but they have in their standard reports. They also have funnel conversion reports that you can see how many times things were touched. Say, for example, if you search by PPC, you can see that someone came in through a PPC campaign, left your site, came back through an affiliate link or through direct search, and that actually purchased. Ultimately, Google's plans are to roll out something that's a little bit more able to make those plans specific. Probably 5 years ago, Core Metrics, which is now owned by IBM, allowed you to determine whether it's first click, last click, or distributed click. And that's a great way that I think Google is trying to move forward to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Oh, we got one.
This is kind of specific, but I'm just wondering if you have a comment, if you have an information product like an ebook about the different channels, because there's different platforms that you can sell it on, and it seems like in Kindle, for example, it's really geared towards really lower price point. People don't want to pay that much, but you might add more value. Do you have any sense of strategies in that sense in terms of how do you distribute that content on different platforms that might sell for higher price in one place and lower price in another?
I don't really have any experience personally with selling ebooks online. I know that there are different channels, and we can talk about it kind of offline as far as where to sell them and where to get the best deal. But mainly, from a consumer perspective, they're looking to get it free or nearly free. And so pretty much on Amazon, anytime they find something with a lower price than what Amazon's offering, they will take that and plug it into Amazon's thing to say, hey, I saw it somewhere else cheaper, and try and bring your price down.
Right.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
Hi, I also have a tools question. What kind of software do you recommend for implementation of marketing plans? I find that, particularly with the move towards integrated marketing, there are so many bits and pieces that overlap and are interdependent on each other, and I just haven't found any marketing program software at all that helps. What have you found?
There are lots of different things. SEO Moz has a great tool to kind of integrate a little bit. There are a number of companies who are trying to put something together, but I agree with you. I haven't found anything that's been the perfect fit either.
I've tried project management software to make sure that there are codependencies and interdependencies, and it's just not working.
Yeah, basically I try and start with an Excel spreadsheet for an editorial calendar and just make sure that everything's on track everything through Google Analytics and
Yeah.
go from there.
So old school.
Great. Any other questions? Terrific. Well, thank you all for coming, and the final keynote should be starting shortly.